Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dereck's Milan Unboxing. I was going to be sitting at the O2 Arena in London covering the Dereck Chisora Kubrat Pulev fight for the ring, but I'm still waiting on a visa, so here I sit right at home in my living area in good old South Africa. Everything seems to be on a backlog with visas, probably because of the Ukraine war going on, so in the end, I shouldn't complain. Most people have got a lot bigger troubles than I have, but so I can at least still watch the fight on the zone this evening. And it's one of those fights. It's not a mouth-watering heavyweight fight, but it's a fight where each man has to fight to stay relevant. They are both former world title challengers. Pulev fought for the title twice, got knocked out by both Vladimir Klitschko and more recently Anthony Joshua. Since got himself back in the win column, and Dereck Chisora for a heavyweight that's got double-digit losses. It is amazing that he's yet again headlining an event, and he remains a draw card. He remains interesting because you've got to be something special if you have that many losses, but you keep on getting the big breaks. And the reason for it is, I think, for the most part, 99% of the time, Dereck Chisora always comes to fight. He's a steady, come forward pressure fighter. He hasn't got a huge punch, and he's not the quickest guy. He's a little bit on the short side as modern day heavyweights go, but he's a big man. He's big, he's broad, he's strong. He's a proper heavyweight. If he hits you too many times, he's going to hurt you. But he's not that one and done puncher, and he's not slick. He's not special in the skills and in the athletically gifted department, but he is special in the heart and determination department. Now, on a domestic scene, if you're a UK fighter, if you're not going to win the world title, Dereck Chisora has won all the other titles that are probably the best to have if you're not going to have that world title. He's been British champion, he's been Commonwealth champion, he's been European champion, and of course a slew of those in between alphabet belts that I don't really care to remember. Now, Kubrat Pulev, he's of course also a former European champion, and he is a poster boy of Bulgaria. Now, the question is, some will say, if you're cynical, like a lot of us boxing fans are, some will say that these are two never will be's fighting it out. Now, neither will ever be the heavyweight champion of the world, I don't think, but it could be a compelling fight because they fought years ago, and then Kubrat Pulev had hometown advantage, and he eked home on a split decision. This time it's in Dereck Chisora's backyard, and that could make all the difference, because the fight to me is a simple one. Whoever gets the ground, whoever gets the distance at where they want it, will win this fight. Now, for Pulev, that is fighting at long range. He's got an awkward sort of style. He's in and out. He's quite quick on his feet for a big man, and he likes hitting you with jabs and 1-2s and sort of a sweeping left hook whenever he can from the outside, and then he ties you up. Now, when he was fighting in Bulgaria, when he was fighting Dereck Chisora the first time, the referee did a Kenny Bayless, and he didn't really let him fight on the inside much at all. He let Pulev hold. He didn't let Chisora get anything done on the inside, because that's where Chisora was most effective. So Pulev got the split decision because he kept the fight at long range from the most part, did his work there, and then held on the inside and smothered Chisora. The referee not really giving him any warnings for holding. Now, Chisora, on the other hand, he will need to get close to Pulev. If a fight is close and in the mid-range, that's where Chisora, I think, is a better fighter, and that's where he will have an advantage. And as I've said, Dereck Chisora is in the O2 Arena. He's in front of his home crowd who have a support behind him. And I suspect whoever referees tonight's fight is not going to let Pulev get away with as much holding as he did in their first fight. So I think that might play into Dereck Chisora's hands. We do also have both are older, both are heading towards 40, and we do have the question mark hanging over their heads. How much have they got left? Now, I think Dereck Chisora has been in war after war after war. He almost gets over the hump. He almost beat Dillian White but lost the split decision. He was almost beating Dillian White, and then he ran into a haymaker in a rematch. 2 fights ago, he dropped a split decision to Joseph Parker after knocking him down in the first round. Almost got a big win there. And then, of course, in his last fight, he lost the rematch to Joseph Parker. Now, Pulev has an easier proposition than Joseph Parker. He's not as young, he's not as quick, but I think they hit about equally as hard. Neither one are the biggest puncher in the heavyweight division. But Pulev is older. He's also a bit shop-worn, but I don't think he's been in as many wars as Dereck Chisora. Quite frankly, I would like to see Dereck Chisora go off into retirement. I wonder what he's made in his career. I think he's made good money. I think Dereck Chisora, for all profile fights he's been in, he probably made a lot more than many world champions out there. So I would really like to see Dereck Chisora retire, but as we all know, fighters don't listen to us. They're going to carry on longer than what is good for them. And Chisora has been in many wars. So if the wheels finally come off and his punch resistance leaves him and Pulev scores a stoppage, or if he simply just can't get going, if his reflexes simply aren't there and Pulev wins an easy decision, that's not going to surprise me. That day will come for Dereck Chisora if he keeps on going. However, Dereck Chisora is a bit of an enigma. I am a bit of a fan. I've got a soft spot for the guy. I don't like the out-of-the-ring shenanigans that he was sometimes a part of. But he really gives his all, and you would like to see him close out his career with a big win, reversing that loss against Pulev. So maybe I'm being a bit sentimental. But I do think Chisora maybe has enough left in him to get enough done on the inside against Pulev. Maybe cut him. Pulev is prone to cuts. And I think the referee is not going to let Pulev just fight his fight as he did in the last fight. So I'm going to take a gamble here, and I'm going to go with Del Boy. I think that Dereck Chisora will be another close fight, but I think he'll get just enough done on the inside against Pulev to this time eke over the line. And this time I expect the split decision maybe to go the way of Dereck Chisora. But it's one of those pick-em fights, and sometimes when fighters are no longer at their peaks and they have to fight to stay relevant, to still have a career and not slip away into being a gatekeeper or journeyman. Dereck Chisora already is a gatekeeper, but to not slip away and to live to fight another day, these guys need a win tonight. So with a loser between Pulev and Chisora tonight, it's hard to see where that loser is going to go. So I think my gut tells me Dereck Chisora is going to eke out a split decision. It's just the fact that it's in his hometown, that's just going to help him that little bit, and he's going to get a little bit more done, maybe have a bit more fire than Pulev, and I think that's going to be the difference. But I have no idea. That's why we're all watching DAZN tonight. It's not sitting in the O2 arena yourself, but hey, as I've said, a lot of other people have much bigger problems than me, so I'm still going to enjoy the fight on DAZN. Let me know in the comment section what you think, and until we see each other again, remember to keep those hands up.